And we have plenty of places we can walk, we have plenty of places to look at. Let's have a place where we can also recreate too, so we don't have to drive 18 hours away. Thank you.
Thank you. Mickey?
Hi, I own but not really actually operate the bicycle shop in Beacon Hill, and I don't have any vested interest in like the mountain bike park or like that, but I do support anything that could make Beacon Hill more of a cohesive community, because I mean I'm actually kind of coming out of like the woodwork here just to show up, because I'm not really that active in the neighborhood community. There's a lot of people I see around here that I respect for being involved in a lot of things and meeting with a lot of the people, and the opportunity for a mountain bike park, which brought me here, is in interest. I know a lot of people in the mountain bike community live nowhere near Beacon Hill, would never even come into Beacon Hill, and just something that would make this place a community, not just for the people that live here, but for people all around. A neighborhood that people talk about, a neighborhood people respect, that they really want to live in or visit, and that kind of social environment, I think, is very, very valuable, and I'm very conscious of the environmental impact, and it does concern me, but that's all about data, and I think it's important that we all keep it a matter of information rather than opinions, because the environmental impact is, and we clearly have people studying it who are experts, and if we discredit the experts with skepticism, I think that's just taking personal bias and potentially destroying our sense of community and the opportunities we have to build things together.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer? And then we'll have Jeff, and then Martin Nart. Yeah, this is hard for me.
Hi.
Go ahead, Jennifer. Yes.
You're facing this way. My name's Jennifer, and I've been on Beacon Hill, a resident on Beacon Hill about 12 years, and I've been a mountain biker for about 18 years. And I got involved with the Cheesty Restoration Project because I saw a post for the Beacon Bike Park concept, and I immediately joined the work party, and my son and I have been going ever since. I bike with a network of friends. A lot of them are women in their 40s, and our kids are now just getting on bikes. And I know I'm speaking for that group of friends, and many like us who would just be ecstatic to be able to get on our bikes and ride from our home with our kids to a place like Cheesty, and share that with our community, with people that might not be able to drive 45 minutes to 2 hours to go mountain biking. So anyway.
Thank you. Jeff? Then we'll have Martin, Jay, and then Celeste and Piela Gilman. Martin?
Hi, I'm Jeff Nalperdal.
Or Jeff, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Jeff here. This is my son Tim. He's 4 and he's yawning, so I'm gonna keep it real short. We gotta go home. Tim just got his second bike, and we ride just outside this building all the time. Don't we? We were here 2 days ago, I think, on bikes, riding around Jefferson's trails, and it's a fantastic experience for a kid who's 4 and doesn't need training wheels and likes to ride on the grass, off-road, like a mountain biker. All kids' bikes these days are sold with tread on their tires, and so they can ride on dirt really comfortably. And I look at Tim and his older brother Jack, who's a couple years older than him, who really wants to ride on 2 parks trails but can't because obviously bikes aren't allowed there. I look at the Cheesty Green Space project as a project for the future, for the next generation, who's right here. I grew up riding a single-speed cruiser on pavement, and I didn't think about riding on dirt. And when I first started to ride on dirt, and I ride on the road mostly, I mostly ride on pavement, but I like to ride on dirt too occasionally because it's fun. I would drive about 45 minutes to a place called Novelty Hill, which is in North Redmond. I'd love to be able to bring my kids one stop out light rail from where I live in Hillman City, so they could ride on some dirt trails in Cheesty.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Martin, Jay, and Celeste.
All right, so I guess what I would like to talk about is I'm a forest steward for the Cheesty Green Space. I'm there very often doing work parties. I was there with John 5 hours, green Seattle Day, beautiful Atlantic. We had tons of people. And then last weekend, we had another work party. And we have 250 plants delivered. I wake up at 7 o'clock. We're supposed to do staging. It's freezing. And we're like, oh, yeah, who's going to come? Thinking that it's going to be 3 or 4 of us for a student. And it turns out we had a great, probably 35 people that came. I contacted with one of your colleagues, Jeff, the C2A teacher at OCA. A fantastic time planning together. I nearly told somebody at OCA how to plant a fern, which was pretty hilarious. But ultimately, we connected, and we're looking right now to bring all the kids from the middle school at ORCA to participate in the project. And to me, that's what this project means. It's like we're really building a community, like, reaching out and getting all of these people to come and work. And every single work party, we're meeting people that do this. And so, Cassidy or the people that oppose this, please come and join us. You will find out that there's really, really a lot of common ground.
Okay, thank you. Jay?
Beans? I didn't bring my beans, I apologize. I left them mostly in my head this time. So, I'm Jay Garrison, live in Rainier Vista. I'm also a forest steward, we've been through all that before. I'd like the PAT to consider how our Cheesty Green Space is actually substantially different from other wooded parklands within the city's broader urban forest. For example, many of the parks that have received neighborhood matching fund grants for trail building have been granted that money despite being wildlife areas with wetlands, steep slopes, and known and potential side areas. For example, Clark Park received $114,000, Kenner Park received $115,000, and even Frink Park received $115,000 and built a bridge over its wetlands. So while other parks have received larger grants, some other parks have received larger grants, like Lewis Park received $700,000. That's a steep slope. Now, Cheesty Green Space, in my opinion, does not substantially differ from any of these parks in habitat quality or in its technical issues. Furthermore, we've spent a lot of our objectives are the same as other groups. For instance, Frink Park's goals include closing social trails to prevent slope damage and undesirable use, providing a more complete experience of the park's features by constructing trails, and to maintain the valued sense of intimacy throughout the park's trail network. The only difference here is that we want to include bicycles. And that's the face value controversy we're facing today. So let's let that be actually tested, which means a separate bike trail. Finally, Daryl, I gotta ask, at Chainsaw, what's up with that, man? Because I'm assuming you didn't use that in building your trails in Free Park.
I'm going to let Daryl answer that after the public comment. Thanks, Jay. Celeste? And then Kai, Stiles, Scott Amick, Ruth Williams, and Paul Fairbairn, I think.
Hello, my name is Celeste Gilman. I am the president of the New Rainier Vista Homeowners Association. This is my daughter Paella, and we are both veterans of public comment on this project. I wanted to talk though about the recent Green Seattle Day that Martin referenced, and it was a beautiful day right after a windstorm. And walking to the forest restoration, there were many of the maple trees that had come down in the wind, and that was the first time that it really struck me at a gut level how close to not having a forest anymore we are in Cheesty. That the trees that are there now are falling over, and we do not have a new succession there to take their place. There are trees, beautiful little trees that have been planted by Earth Corps. And then we went to the restoration area. You can add the next set because Kyle is speaking too. And it was...
No, she's not. You've got to hurry.
It was beautiful to go to the areas where we had done the restoration and taken out the blackberries, and now we are planting new trees and the next forest. Is there anything that you would like to say? Yes, what would you like to say? You like TC Green Space?
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Kai, Scott, Ruth, and Paul.
For handwriting, it's actually Carrie Stiles.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I live down in the valley, just south of Tennessee. And I've lived in this exact neighborhood for about 3 years. And I fully support the mountain bike trails as originally proposed in the earlier plan. This one looks great as a pilot project, But what I want to talk about is that I think in order to build and grow a community of young people that love our green spaces, both here in the city and out in the fringes that are being developed and out in the mountains, we have to give them exposure to these areas, and we have to provide as many opportunities as possible for them to learn their own way to love this environment. In order to do that, we have to give birding opportunities and hiking opportunities and sitting peaceful art opportunities and mountain biking opportunities. And in order to make the pilot project successful, I think it has to be a sustainable trail. It has to have some cross trails and some interesting ways for people to build a love for this space, which will help them grow into adults. I'm very interested in youth engagement in environmental protection. We have to build opportunities for them to build their own love and passion for this environment, and then work towards preserving it and protecting it in the future.
Thank you. Scott?
Good evening, my name is Scott Amick. I live next to Hitz Hill Park. I'm the forest steward there, or the forest steward there on 39th Avenue. A couple of quick points. Speaking of kids, I don't have a kid with me today. I actually don't have any kids. But in the Mount Baker housing apartments that are a stone's throw from where I live on 39th near Dawson, I've noticed 3 young kids on their bikes, even wearing helmets recently, probably from Bike Works. And I'm just hoping to all hope that they have the chance to experience a mountain bike trail that I can go to Whistler or somewhere else, and I don't need a mountain bike. But I just recently was on the Olympic Peninsula. These kids will never see the Olympic Peninsula. I'm pretty darn sure. If we have a chance to let these young people who are, this tall, having a ball on their bikes, experience their own neighborhood green space, please help do it. It's important that longtime neighbors and new neighbors come together and make this happen. Our community needs it, and thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Ruth Williams? And then Paul Fairbairn. Ruth.
Hi, I'm a forest steward at Northgate, but we all get that whatever happens here is going to be the prototype for what Parks wants to apply for the whole city. And so we're very interested in what happens. And in the process of getting to the pack here, Parks has developed a lot of mistrust in the community for how things have been handled. And I think they could maybe make that a little better by when they do their outreach to underrepresented communities, publish the materials and the methods that will be used for that outreach, and publish the meeting places and times so that everyone can participate. And I get it about having 2 trails, so you have to take out fewer trees and so on. But if they stray too far apart, you get into more fragmentation of habitat, and so that would be a good thing to keep in the balance. Thanks.
Thank you. Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul Fairbairn. I am a forest steward, and I help restore the forest. I've been working doing forest restoration for over 8 years now, mostly on the Mountain View side. And I had a kid 4 years ago, and I grew up with a forest that I could access. And I moved to this neighborhood because I saw that forest. I live in Rainier Vista, and I look at that forest. So I have emotional, physical connections. I grew up in the forest. I want my son to have the same experience. So I just want to make a comment that, aside from that, to me this project's about access. It's about getting into about the neighborhood connecting through the forest, and about connecting neighborhoods. I'm disappointed that there's not cross trails, but I think this is a good start. And I hope that after this pilot project, we can continue developing this park. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Pat, members, I know we're going a little bit over our time, but I think this is important, and I know that the public comment part is very important to all of you as well. So we'll keep going with a few more folks. So we have Arthur Shiley, Carson Boland, Debbie Murray, and Greg Briggs. Arthur, go ahead.
Hey, I want to reiterate thanks to the PA team members. especially those of you who have been involved in GC Green Space as it's developed over time. I have kids that mountain bike regularly, and I'm really excited to see this project move forward. I want to match some of the disappointment that's been expressed about the deviation from the original mountain bike trail. I also feel it's been a little bit watered down, and I think if we want to have the greatest chance at success for adopting this program and getting people to use the mountain bike trails, we have to make those mountain bike trails attractive not just to beginners but also to more experienced riders. So I hope you'll take that into account as we move forward.
Thank you. Carson?
My name is Carson Bolin, and I recently moved to Beacon Hill about 3.5 months ago. And I come here tonight with a spirit of gratitude for you guys for showing leadership in the community. I trust that you're going to make the decisions that have the best for this area's future in mind. And then also gratitude to this park, because it allowed me to tap very quickly into this community, into the energy that is very positive and moving forward on behalf of everyone who lives around it. I also have a story. I work with a lot of kids. I'm an assistant scoutmaster, and we want to hike, and we want to have a trail where we can learn skills about the forest, about managing the forest, about seeing woodpeckers and walking through, and then also kids want to get the mountain biking merit badge. They've told me that, and that's on their to-do list. So let's make that happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carson. Debbie, Mary? And then Greg Briggs, and then